Hi, my name is Joshua Vaughn. I'm 38 years old. My wife and I have 6 children, and we're based right now out of Wrigley, California. My wife and I have been in education for over 16 years. We've had it in our hearts for a long time to have a Christian school. We moved to Wrigley, California 7 years ago and started our first school started the school in our living room in 2010 with 1 student and my 2 oldest daughters. And we came to the point where we started asking, you know what, we need more help. We need people who have the same vision, the same heart, the same desire that we have and are interested in Christian education. One of the visions of CLIP International is also to be a training place for teachers.
Hello, my name is Wes Plumley. I'm 33 years old and married to a wonderful Venezuelan wife. We have 5 children, and I have been with CLIP since it was started in the Vaughn's living room in 2010. There are 3 main goals that I want to see and know that they understand. Number 1 is that their Heavenly Father loves them unconditionally. Number 2, I want them to know that God has a purpose and a vision for their life. Number 3 is that I want them to know that it can't just stop with them. It's got to be multi-generational.
I definitely want to achieve with my students the passion for loving God in everything what they do.
A child must develop a real strong love for learning, and I'm so excited that this is what we're doing here at CLIP every day in the classroom.
Sarah and I actually met David and Olga Edgar, pastors of One Family Church, through my dad. And talking to them, we realized that they had actually wanted a school in their church for many, many, many years.
And we shared what we were desiring and heard what they were desiring. We knew that God had brought us together and knew what CLIP was going to do for the kids, which is teaching kids to know God, to love God, to serve God.
They didn't just want to help the children, but they wanted to help the whole family instead.
We have a passion for people. We want to see their lives transformed. And as a result, that transformation be able to work in their families and carry them through a lifetime to be able to be who God's made them to be.
So when we joined with One Family Church, it was kind of an amazing thing where 2 visions just meshed together. Christian education is very important in a student's life because it lays a foundation of how he's going to act once he graduates. And it's going to determine whether he's going to be an influencer or if he's going to be the one who's being influenced.
I believe Christian education is important because children need a foundation in life.
Ellos aprenden a amar a Dios.
The earlier you bring a spiritual formation in the life of a child, the better the results are going to be. So Christian education grounds a child from very early.
Se preparan también para que ellos puedan servir a los demás.
So we realized that if we could have the family, the school, and the church working together in unison to help these families to grow, to become stronger, we realized that we could have students that once they graduate could go out into the world and be a Daniel generation. One of my favorite quotes of all time really is by a man named John Milton, and he said the end of all learning is to know God, and out of that knowledge to love and imitate Him. So our goal is for each student to know God. And as they know God, we believe that they'll love God. As they love God, they'll be able to imitate God. And as they imitate God, they're going to propagate the gospel.
We chose CLIP because we believed in the vision that the founders of CLIP had for the school.
Es una escuela con base bíblica, con principios.
Pues les están enseñando la educación, pero sobre todo fundamentada en las cosas de Dios.
Our vision at CLIP is to partner with the families to equip their children so that they can fulfill their purpose. One thing that makes CLIP different and makes it stand out is that we don't just work with the child, we work with the entire family.
CLIP creates a family environment. We work with their parents, we speak with their parents, we know their parents. Parents and teachers have come side by side and they're working together.
Catherine Dang, who's been in education for over 40 years, has been instrumental in helping us to develop the curriculum for our school.
It
rings true in that it is centered around the responsibility of the home and family and parents for the education of their children.
CLIP International is about lives, it's about people. It's about these students and their families being touched, being transformed, and being changed.
The change in our family that I've seen since our child has begun attending CLIP is that we like to do more things together as a family and spend more family time together instead of doing things separately.
Que ellos primeramente tienen pasión en conocer de Dios, pero también han aprendido mucho sobre el respeto de las demás personas.
A ser responsables, a ser mejor carácter, a ser ellos mismos.
I love that CLIP allows me to build strong families.
Christian education has to include the three institutions that God established for us to be stewards of: the home, the church, and civil government.
So we can see that through the way we teach and the curriculum that we have, it really builds that Christian character. Our goal for our students is for us to have a Daniel generation. I love the verse in Daniel that talks about how Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself. Here's Daniel pulled from his home, stuck into this pagan society, yet he stood firm on what he had been taught.
I have seen that if we pursue biblical education in truth, it will cause them to pursue Christ after they are no longer under the tutelage of parents.
The dynamic of One Family Church and CLIP International School working together is the best way to prepare children to be future leaders to go to the nations.
In 2 words, the greatest thing about CLIP is family environment.
A safe haven for the kids and a place where they can learn to love God more than anything else.
God's presence and God's love.
Es algo lindísimo.
Biblical foundations.
Amar a Dios.
I'm so glad that we're a part of this because we're seeing fruit in their lives that will benefit them for the rest of their days.
We bring God in every subject. We show what God has done in the past, what He's doing in the present, and how we can be part of His future plans.
CLIP is the positive alternative to the secular education that has torn apart the institutions of home, church, and civil government.
Yo pienso que van a hacer un cambio en su generación, en su tiempo, porque ellos tienen otra oportunidad que nosotros no tuvimos, porque no conocíamos los fundamentos de Dios.
We're so thankful for you considering being a part of this, having a passion with us, carrying this desire with us to see lives changed. That's what CLIP International is all about. I want to invite you to be a part of our scholarship program. We believe that God's glory is going to shine and be reflected through them, that lives and families are going to be touched, and that through this we really are making a difference in people's lives.
To sum everything up, the vision and the purpose of CLIP is to see strong families working together to influence the nations for Christ.